Back at the start of June 2023, I ran my beta run of my Trifecta Trading Club. And during that week, specifically on Saturday, June 3rd, I shared a top stock pick report for ticker LEN, Lennar. So this is what the market looked like at that time. Okay, I've hidden all the data up through Friday, June 2nd. And I'm going to show you, here's a copy of the report in a draft folder before I put it in the Trifecta Trading Club beta portal at that time. And you can see here that I had an outlook and some levels. All right. So I had a bunch of reasons for what my outlook was, and ultimately my outlook was buy signal now. Okay, so at the time of this report, the recommended stop level was below the 103.35 price low. Then there was an initial upside target and an ultimate upside target. So I'm just going to take a moment here to drop those on this chart. All right, so I've added those levels on. So the red horizontal line represents the price below which I recommended to place a protective stop. So that would be a sell to exit order if you got long. The initial upside target 122.31 and the ultimate upside target 127.78. Now, what unfolded is what I want to look at here with you because it provides a great opportunity for an important tip about how to manage a winning trade. Because if you don't manage a winning trade left, then you may have no winnings to actually collect. So let me fast forward to current market action. All right, so I'm in the data settings here and I'm going to change to bring this up to current market action. And here we go. So as you can see, the recommendation was provided and actionable on June 5th or later, because again, it was published on Saturday, June 3rd after the Friday, June 2nd market close. And shares did continue on higher. They ended up at the initial upside target on June 20th and have now approached the ultimate upside target, but not quite hit it. So what I want to do is focus in on this action and give you some pointers about how to manage a trade if you ever have one like this, or if you happen to take a trade employing information from this recommendation, all right? So I'm going to first remove the 122.31. I'm just going to replace it with what I call like a ghost line, meaning I know that I had important data there, but I'm just going to make it a gray dashed line so that I can kind of keep the history, but not be distracted by it. Okay, I always throw a label down on those. Now I have my next upside target and all of the action that unfolded. So the first thing I want to do that I recommend that you do is go to the price action. Yes, I know the first thing many of you see from me is RSI power zones, which is momentum down below. The thing is, I really want you to hone in on price action first and then use momentum and timing in cooperation with that. So when you look at the price action here, you can see that there's been a bit of consolidation. So a tight sideways range between this June 20th high and this June 29th low, right? We're still in between the two of those. The thing is, the June 29th low is not what's shaping the uptrend from May 31st. It's actually the low prior to that. So this is what I call a price low with a capital P. And specifically, I'm talking to the one here on June 26th. So if you are in this long position and you want to manage the trade and give it the most room for the market to kind of jiggle around before it might burst higher, I would recommend raising your protective stop to beneath 120.41. So I'm just going to kind of give you a visual of that here, okay? The exact price level to move to, well, that depends on your particular trading plan. Now, if you want to get your stop tighter, you want to leave less on the table, then you could move that stop to beneath this June 29th low, realizing though that you might get caught up in the choppy correction of the market and it still may resume higher, okay? Now, as for whether we're going to reach the target or not, it's still TBD. One thing I see here is that the RSI power zones have put in something called a historical hold. That's an advanced RSI power zones concept. It doesn't mean that the momentum is just completely kaput and finished, but it is a hint that bullish momentum has slowed. So what I would personally do is not necessarily wait to reach the 127.78, but put a sort of mental alarm, okay, on the levels before that. So look at today's high at 125.99, which completely swallowed up yesterday's range. Again, if you're managing this in the moment, but I want you to translate this to any time you're in this situation where you've got a winning trade on paper and you're trying to manage it, okay? So just make that a black line so it's different. Then you have that upside target. And so the additional level in between to monitor would be the actual high that formed. So here's what happens. If you have alerts now, bringing your attention in to not only the reaching of the ultimate upside target to perhaps take your profit or take some shares or position off, but if you also look at the price levels, the price high here and the bar high here that have formed, and keep attuned to the market breaks above those, then you will be provided with new bar lows that you can monitor so that if we don't get up to 127.78 and starts rolling over, perhaps with a bull bear RSI face-off showing the bears are returning, right? Then you can raise the stop level even more, but based on data, not based on emotion, okay? So right now, if you were to manage this trade using the HEMA-ready trifecta methods, based on logic and data, your stop would be beneath 120.41. Based on logic and data, there's still room to get to 127.78, and you could add in these alerts along the way to help you monitor that. So again, I'm going to do a little bit more of this going forward where I'm taking the picks that I'm sharing in the Trifecta Trading Club and circling back to them weeks later so you can actually see what has unfolded. Not just to show you that I'm willing to stand accountable to what I put out to my Trifecta Trading Club members, but also to turn them into useful lessons for all. So again, I'm HEMA ready. I use price, time, and momentum to boost my trading and that of my tribes. And I'll catch you next time.